Hey BBQ Science, it's Jackie. This week you finally get to make real barbecue, but real barbecue takes a long time. So since you're not going to get the chance to get that barbecue started, I'm going to show you today how to start and light a smoker so that you can practice this later when you're barbecuing on your own. So what we have here are the three main components of a smoker. So first we have the bottom portion where the coals are going to go. We have this middle portion. It's going to create kind of a chimney-like environment. And we have this big bowl. We're going to fill that with water, and that's going to keep our smoker at a nice even temperature the whole time. And then finally the little dome lid. So I've got my chimney starter going, and now in this bottom portion, I'm just going to put some extra briquettes so that the lit briquettes are going to go on top, and they'll just burn down and light the unlit briquettes underneath, giving me fuel for the whole cook that I'm doing. So I've got my base of coals in there now, and today I'm doing baby back ribs, so I only need a 3 to 4 hour cook. So I didn't do a ton of coals, just a nice single layer. And you can see the chimney starters really starting to get going. I'm also going to toss in some apple chunks into there, and that's going to provide the smoke I'm going to use today. I'm just starting out with 4 apple chunks. If it's not producing as much smoke as I want, I can always add more later, but that seems like a pretty good start for now. And now it's just a matter of waiting until those coals get hot and then spreading those hot coals across the unlit coals and across those wood chunks. All right, so I've spread my hot coals out across the top of that fuel in those wood chunks, and it's already smoking. So I'm going to get the lid on it, and then I'm going to pour water into it. All right, I've got my middle section on, and I've poured 1 pitcher water in. I'm going to add the second. My smoker takes about 2 big pitchers of water. Now I'm careful not to splash this onto the coals. Just fill up that bowl with water. You'll notice right now that it's smoking a lot, and that's because I just put those hot coals on. It's burning off some of the binder from the other fuel that's in there underneath, and it is burning some of the wood smoke. We can kind of see there are some bluish swirls happening in this smoke, but I'm going to wait a couple minutes and just let it burn off a little bit more until I add my ribs. There's definitely a waiting element to barbecue, so get yourself a chair, relax, enjoy the process. So I've let some of the binders burn off, and now the smoke that's coming out is like a nice bluish color, and that's exactly what I'm looking for from the wood smoke. We are running a little bit hot, but not terribly so, right on the edge of that smoking range between 200 and 275. So I'm going to choke it off a little bit. I'm going to close some of my bottom vents, because again, I want to keep the smoke pulling out of these top vents so that the meat gets really wrapped in smoke. So I'm just going to choke those off a little bit, and then I'm going to put on my ribs. I'm using a rib rack for my ribs. So I'm going to take them, plop them in there. Looking good. So the ribs are on. I've choked down the air a little bit, and it's now running right where I want it to, and it's stayed there for a few minutes, so I know that it's pretty stable. And with that, I'm obviously going to check in on the ribs, but the smoker itself can be left. If I needed to go run an errand, I could. Obviously, I have this in a safe location where I'm pretty sure that even if this gets toppled over, I'm not going to light my house on fire. But for the most part, I've created a nice outdoor oven that can be left alone, and I don't have to worry about it much for the next couple of hours. Hey all, we're back. My ribs have been on for about an hour. It's been running right in the smoking range, and now I'm going to apply a little mop to the ribs to keep them nice and moist, to keep the smoke particles adhering to the ribs. Smoke likes to stick to moisture, and if you think that that's BS, try lighting one of these with wet hair and tell me how you smell for the rest of the day. So I'm going to see how they're looking. Ooh, really good is the answer. Looking lovely. I'll grab my mop, and this is actually a 2-handed job, so I'm going to mop them and cover them back up. Okay, barbecue fans, we're about 2 hours and 20 minutes in. It's pretty much stopped smoking, as you can see, but I'm okay with that because really at this point, not much more smoke is going to stick to these guys. We're still holding at a nice temperature, and they look really good. We're getting some good shrinkage away from the bone, and at this point, I'm going to use the Texas crutch method just to push them over the hill and make them super tender. I'm going to Texas crutch them to wrap them in foil for about an hour, and then I'm going to put them back on the grill for half an hour to redevelop this beautiful bark that's forming. Hey barbecue fans, we're here to finish up. I missed a step in showing you that because I had the ribs wrapped in foil. They were on the grill for about an hour. I forgot to show you that, but it's not terribly exciting. They were ribs wrapped in foil. So now I unwrapped them, I put them back on the smoker to redevelop the bark, and they should be done. Oh yeah, these ribs look really good. I'm very pleased with how they turned out. We can see the shrinkage happening away from the bone here. I'm just gonna test them by just lifting them up. And yeah, see how they're pulling away from each other? It's exactly what we want. So we're all done. Whoop! Aw, bummer. That's okay, they'll still eat.